Hello everyone. This video is brought to you by Newton's Group of Institutions. I am Aravind Reddy from Department of CSE. In this video, I'll be talking about creating and running a C program. Generally, the programs created using C programming languages like C, C++, Java, etc. are written using a high-level language like English. But the computer cannot understand the high-level language. It can understand only low-level language. So the programs written in the high-level language need to be converted into the low-level language to make it understandable for the computer. This conversion is performed using either interpreter or compiler. Now, popular programming languages like C, C++, Java, etc. they use the compiler to convert the high-level language instructions into low-level language instructions. So a compiler is a program that converts the high-level language instructions into low-level language instructions. And generally these compilers perform two things. First, it verifies the program errors. If errors are found, it returns the list of errors. Otherwise, they convert the complete code into low-level language. To create and execute the C programs in the Windows operating system, we need to install the Turbo C software. Then we need to use the following steps to create and execute the C programs in Windows operating system. So for creating a source code, the source code is a file with C programming instructions in high-level language. So to create this source code, we use the text editor to write the program instructions. And these instructions written in the source code must follow the C programming rules. So the following steps are used to create the source code file in Windows operating system. So first we need to click on the start button. Then we need to select run. And we need to type CMD. And then we need to press the enter key. Then we need to type cd space c:\tc/bin in the command prompt, and we need to press the enter. And after that we need to press tc and we need to press on the enter key. Then we need to go to the Windows C editor window. We need to go on the file and we need to go for new. And then we need to press the enter. Then we need to type the program and we need to save it as filename.c extension. So in between, we need to use the shortcut key F2 to save the file. Now, once after writing our source code, we need to compile the source code. So the compilation is a process of converting the high-level language instructions into low-level language instructions. And here we use the shortcut key Alt F9 to compile a C program in Turbo C. Whenever we press Alt F9, the source file is going to be submitted to the compiler. And on receiving the source file, the compiler first checks for the errors. If there are any errors, then the compiler returns the list of errors. And if there are no errors, then the source code will be converted into the object code and it stores in a file with a .obj extension. Then the object code is given to the linker and the linker combines both the object code and the specified header file code and generates an executable file with a .exe extension. So here the compilation is a process of converting the source code into object code, and this can be done with the help of the compiler. So here the compiler checks the source code for the syntactical or structural errors, and if the source code is error free, then it generates the object code. So the C compilation process converts the source code taken as input into the object code or machine code, and the compilation process can be divided into 4 steps. One is pre-processing, second one is compiling, third one is assembling, and the fourth step is linking. So here the preprocessor takes the source code as an input and it removes all the comments from the source code. And the preprocessor takes the preprocessing directive and it interprets it. For example, if stdio.h, the directive is available in the program, then the preprocessor interprets the directive and replaces this directive with the content of the stdio.h file. So, by following the 4 phases through which our program passes before being translated into an executable form. That is, one is pre-processing, compiling, assembling, and linker. So here the first one, what preprocessor will do, the source code is first passed through the preprocessor and then the preprocessor expands this code, and after expanding it is passed to the compiler. Now the compiler converts this code into assembly code. Now this assembly code is being converted into object code by the assembler. Now we know that mainly all the programs what we are writing in C use library functions, and these library functions are pre-compiled and the object code of these library files is stored with .lib extensions. So the main working of the linker is to convert the object code of the library files with the object code of our program. And the output of the linker is an executable file with the .exe extension. So the name of this executable file will be the same as of the source file, but differ only in its extension. Then once after the compilation is completed, then we need to execute it. That is, we need to run the executable file. So after completing the compilation successfully, an executable file is created with a .exe extension. The processor can understand this exe file content, so it can perform the task specified in the source file. We use the shortcut key Ctrl F9 to run the C program. Whenever we press Ctrl F9, that .exe file is submitted to the CPU. So on receiving the .exe file, CPU performs the task according to the instructions written in this file, and the result generated from this execution is placed in a window called as a user screen. Now we need to check the result. So after running the program, the result is being placed in the user screen, and just we need to open the user screen to check the result of the program execution. So here we need to use the shortcut key Alt F5 to open the user screen, and we can check the result. Now let us see the overall execution process of the C program. So here whenever we execute a C program, it undergoes with the following process. Every C program source file is saved with the .c extension, for example sample.c. Whenever we press Alt F9, the source file is submitted to the compiler, and the compiler checks for the errors, and if there are any errors, it returns a list of errors. Otherwise, it generates an object code in the file with the name sample.obj and is being submitted to the linker. Now the linker combines this code from specified header files into an object file, and it generates an executable file as sample.exe. With this, compilation process will get complete. Then what we need to do? We need to run the program by pressing Ctrl F9. When we press the Ctrl F9, the executable file will be submitted to the CPU. Then the CPU performs the task according to the instructions written in that program and places the result into the user screen. Then we press Alt F5 to open the user screen and check the result of the program. Now let us see some of the important points in this. So here first, the C program file, that is the source file, must be saved with .c extension, and the compiler converts the complete program at a time from high level language to low level language. So here the input to the compiler is .c file and the output from the compiler is .exe file, and but it also generates a .obj file in this process. And here the compiler converts the file only if there are no errors in the source code, and CPU places the result in the user screen window. So now let us see the overall process. First of all, we need to type the program in C editor and save with .c extension. Then we need to press F2 to save in between. Then we need to press Alt F9 to compile the program. If there are any errors, we need to correct the errors and recompile the program. If there are no errors, then we need to press Ctrl F9 to execute or run the program. So then we need to press Alt F5 to open the user screen and check for the results. Thank you all for watching my video. If you like my videos, please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon for latest updates. Thank you. Thank you very much.